Hello everybody. It is January 10 and all I've been doing is running around up here where we live. And I think you can tell why. This is actually kind of a rare occurrence here. Put it this way, it's not common. I thought I'd show you guys really quick. I'm not going to drive around, but I finally got Valentina home. She was supposed to work till 9 tonight when it gets down to 25 degrees. And it's been snowing all day nonstop. That's a frozen lake down there. You can see little edge right there. It's still frozen, but not covered in snow. Still have this gentleman who's been working on clearing from Helene. That is pretty crazy. Oh, I got people down here building a snowman. And there's a lake down there too that's frozen and covered in snow. So this is what we had to just now come up. I was very concerned we weren't going to make it up. Luckily I have four-wheel drive, but you still just don't know when it's compacted ice. That's what we just came up. This is where we're at. I parked in the front just in case there's supposed to be possibly an ice storm where trees start snapping and stuff falling off everywhere. So our cars could get damaged. I don't know. The front of my truck is looking like. It was pretty crazy coming home. I stopped running my windshield wipers because the snow wasn't necessarily sticking and it wasn't doing any good. And I waited maybe like 5 minutes and I decided to run them. It was all ice on my windshield and my windshield wiper fluid no longer worked. It worked at Sam's Club and then it didn't work coming home. So anyway, it's a little bit of a mess here in the front, but we got us some firewood here, and propane and all this stuff in case we lose power. In the back of my truck has got a generator, chainsaw, all kinds of gas and stuff that we might need. Anyway, I thought I would just check in really, today, show you what it's looking like up here and why we're not working at the house today. Alright, we'll see you guys the next time we're on probably the property. Good morning everybody. It's January 13, 9:20 in the morning, and I'm just leaving our house. First time I'm going back to work since the snowstorm. Just wanted to show you guys really quick what we're looking at, what everything looks like. So it's been a couple of days since we had snow, and we only got a few inches of snow, but it ain't melting. That's what it's looking like. We have a bobcat here, a skid steer that a guy has cleared the roads, but it's still so cold that nothing basically melts, and it's taken a while to get out. Valentina did get to work yesterday in the afternoon, and slid a few times, but and then Bren went out in the afternoon yesterday and he slid on a few side roads. So I'm taking a chance here, today. It's 34 degrees. I have a feeling there's going to be black ice all over the place, just because things they're not melting. So alright, here's wishing and hoping I get there safely. Alright, just getting into the property. This road right here that's coming into us is the hairiest road that I've been on all the way from the house to here, from where we live to here. Such tree cover that it's basically all ice about this thick, the whole road. So you got to be super, super careful. And you're coming downhill right here to the stop sign. So you're on skates. I'm really impressed and surprised how much snow is down here. We're only about 1,100 feet or so. This is my neighbor. He's got a lot of snow still, and I'm guessing it's because they're facing away from the sun, basically. I mean, they get morning sun or don't get morning sun since it's cloudy. But our property is almost completely melted. We don't have a lot because we have a lot of sun exposure. I'm quite surprised at how much there is down here. 34 degrees It was actually warmer on the freeway coming down. I think I got up to like 36, 37. So we're in a cold pocket here. There's Bryn's little spot. So everything that's facing north is still got snow on it. Alright, well, let's get down in here and try to work in this. Yesterday, Bryn got down in here and said even in four-wheel drive, he could barely drive around his little spot there, but it's pretty muddy there, so it's kind of hard to maneuver anyway. Oh, boy. So we got a bunch of snow in front of the house. Of course, no sun hits that, so... Well, I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to plug us into some power, run the heat in the house, see if we can warm up and get going on some project. I've missed a couple of days now because of the weather, and I just got to get something going. Got the cord hooked up, and I got the heater going in there, and the sun is trying to peek through. We got blue skies over here, so as soon as this blows out of the way, maybe some of this stuff can melt and we can move on with life, at least for a few days, because supposedly we're supposed to have a polar vortex coming through here, and by next week have a even colder than this was. I'm tired and over all this weather since I've been here. I really am. Thought I was coming to a place that I was gonna flourish and everything, and I thought we were pretty safe here, but the weather has been insane since I've been here. Either it's so bloody hot and humid, and it's always raining and wet and muddy. I was looking forward to the winter so it would cool down a little bit and be a lot drier. This winter, not at all. It has been Helene, then it's this big dump that we just had that we were not supposed to have and are not usual, and now another one coming on its way. Makes it really hard to get anything built and to get anything done, and it's just, the weather has not been our friend since we've been here, pretty much. There's been some pretty times, don't get me wrong. Fall is spectacular, spring is spectacular, summer is green year-round. I mean, through the whole season. But I want some just like a few months of regular weather. Well, I got to go down through here and get some tools. And I'm curious, my tractor, I don't know if that, probably that way with most tractors, since they're diesel, does not like cold weather. It does not like to start up in cold weather. So we're going to warm up this glow plug for a minute and see if we can get her started. Cuts out and spits and spurts, and it always starts up the first time, but it just cold weather. Alright, everything locked in and ready to go. Okay, the one thing that I'm very thankful that this last storm didn't do, at least not prolifically, in 1993 I was out here fresh out of high school when I moved out, and they had an ice storm where you could just look over the tops of the mountains and you can see all the trees had broken off the tops. And I guess it rains or snows or whatever, and then collects on the trees, and then cold freeze comes through and just snaps everything off. And any water that's in the tree gets frozen and snapped off and all that. In fact, that's what they're saying. A lot of these trees along in this property, why they're leaning over, is that you have all these young trees, and then they'll get like a ice storm or whatever, a whole lot of water, and then it freezes and it bends the tree over because it can't hold the weight. And then after it all dries up or whatever, it stays there. It can't recover. Anyway, I'm glad that I didn't need all this equipment that I got. I guess there were some trees that snapped around here and there, but it was nothing like it was when I was in 93 here. So, yeah, thank goodness I didn't need it. No power outages. Wonderful. They were expecting power outages and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to put all this stuff back throughout the day, hopefully, and get it back in the shed. And then, probably within a week, we'll see, I might have to pull it all back out again when the next storm comes. Oh well, but I don't want to haul it around all week. It gets in my way when I need to haul stuff. Just had to bring this up really quick. Look at this beautiful sun. Ah, it's gonna warm up and all the snow's gonna melt. We're gonna have a bunch of mud, but if it stays sunny for a few days, maybe we will have some dry, warmish weather for a minute. That's awesome. All right, I was just celebrating this. Thank you, Mr. Sun. I love you. It's 42 in the house, 42 degrees. After I've been running the heater for a few minutes. Grand unveiling right here. I haven't looked at this, obviously. I don't know how I feel about that. Didn't settle in nicely here, but I mean, there's no obvious cracks. You can just see where the next thing went. And every time I do these, this is poking out a little bit. The bottom of the form, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, is out just a tad, so that's going to take some sanding down, I guess. And it doesn't do it here at the edges. It looks like because this must push out a tiny bit every time in the middle, pushes out, so then this is overhanging, but on the edge, right at the forms, it's not doing that. All right, we still got this much to do. We're making it there. Man, what a pain this has been. If we would have done some simple something, we would have already been done. It just keeps going on and on and on. And we're doing this again, little section by little section, because when we did that first main section there that we were trying a different style, everything cracked and it was too much weight and we couldn't keep it up. So we're just doing little sections at a time. And it's going to get more difficult now. I'm going to have to go up on a ladder to put everything in. Alright, gonna mix me some concrete and get ready for this next batch. I got my next batch made. I marked on the walls where it starts, so that's where it'll start going up. I'll probably get up to maybe here or so today. I almost wonder if I should just do a bigger batch. I don't know. I'm getting higher up and it's going to be a pain going up and down, and I don't know, it seems more tricky up there. I don't know if I should be putting like smaller batches than what I've been doing down here, or just stop messing around and do a big batch. That's my question. If I do a bigger batch, will it hold and be all right? Well, I'm going to go ahead and do this batch first and see what happens and where it looks like it lands, and then take it from there. I decided to definitely go ahead and make another batch. That didn't make nearly as much as I thought it was going to fill up there. I don't know why I thought it would do only so little, but anyway, I want to try to get it closer to the top of that and take a chance. So I'm doing this less. I was trying to count how many times I was going up and down the ladder. Lost count at like 10 and said forget it. So yeah, it's a lot of up and down the ladder, so I'd rather just get it done and out of the way. This is going to be one of my wetter batches right here. Just slightly, I feel like more wet than the last ones that I've done. But I think that's going to work out good because it's going to smash and compact what I just now put in there a little bit. This is what I'm looking at this time. I feel like it's a little bit still wet, but you just don't want it falling and pushing a bunch of weight, because that water's a lot of weight on that too. So a little bit more concrete and a little less water seems like it's working well. Yes, it's a little pocky in here and stuff, but Valentina's going to put a smooth finish on it, so I don't think you're going to see that part. Alright guys, it's basically filled to the top. I have a little bit left over like I always do. I'll scrape this all up and then I can make a couple of fill-in piles. I'm going to tap it with a hammer, see how much it goes down. Fill in the deepest points. This is, I don't know what it is. It's I think I put more Portland cement in there than usual. So it's like gluey. And it's not going down as quickly and easily. It's going down, but... So I just keep hitting it. It's slowly going down, but probably going to take a while. Alright, believe it or not, it's only 40-something degrees in here, and I am sweating. I probably went up on the ladder, up and down 40, 50 times at least. So I went ahead and made another batch. I'm glad I did, because I filled it up and banged on this, and it still sunk down after I banged and banged and banged. That's probably down another 4 inches down again. So I'm really glad I did the second batch. So let's see, I did from here all the way up to probably about right there. So that's pretty decent size. That's probably one of my larger batches. This was pretty large here, and that one was pretty large down there. But they started getting thinner as I was going up. So the next time I do it, I'd like to get it. I may end up having 3 more times. I'd rather only have 2 more times. I'd like to fill it up pretty high, so then the next one I can finish it. So, I don't know. We'll see. It is so sunny outside. I'm looking forward to go out there and see what's the weather like. And it's heater's got me up to 50 in here now. That means it must be warming up outside pretty decently. Alright, I just got back from outside. Man, it's beautiful out there. Too bad I'm not working out there. I was out there driving a tractor down to the shed and back, and it's like, boy, I'd like to be working out there today instead of in here. When you're in the sun, sometimes it doesn't matter what the temperature is outside. You heat up. So as you can see, I'm cleaning my mess, because what I think I'm going to do next is, I've talked about this, but I haven't got around to it yet, is I'm going to put the remainder of the R15 that I have in the interior walls to create a little bit more of a sound barrier, soundproof the walls a little bit. Since it's such a small house, you don't necessarily want to hear somebody go to the bathroom. You don't want to hear, if you're in the taking a relaxing bath, you don't want to hear somebody talking in here. So just a couple little things. I don't know if it's going to do a lot, but if it just takes the edge off, washer and dryer, say you're running that, you don't want to be sitting in here visiting with somebody and hearing da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So hopefully it'll help a little bit, and I didn't have really anything else I could do with that leftover, so maybe that leftover will go to good use. So I put this piece up here, and I think it's going to be kind of, I'm hoping this will be kind of cool in the fact that I can just walk over here to the other side, and yeah, I can do my cuts wherever they need from this side, so it'll be a little easier. It was a little bit more of a pain than I wanted it to be, but at the same time, should work out alright. Now back to the other side. I just cut all this part off. The thing is, it doesn't have to be great because I'm just using it for soundproof, so I can cut corners, or it doesn't have to be great. It's not going to be inspected, it's whatever. So I think it'll work out good. It'll do what I want it to. So I have this R38 and I really don't know where else I'd stick it because it's for 2x6s in the ceiling basically. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to shove it in around the tub. That almost looks like it's where it's supposed to go. I've asked Roger and a few other people, should I jam this in there or not? And they're like, well, it's not going to do any good, so no. I don't agree with them. I could be wrong. I don't know. Could cause more troubles in the long run. I don't know. The only thing I could see it causing troubles is if the tub were to leak and get underneath, but honestly, that'd be trouble just like it is. I mean, whether there was insulation there or not. But what that will do, this insulation will help buffer the sound of the water hitting the tub. It'll help buffer the sound, here at the bottom of showers. And it might just contribute to keeping the hot water in the bathtub a little bit longer hot. I don't know, it could help a little bit. But now, at least I don't have R38 laying over here on the floor. Might as well use it, right? Alright guys, hopefully this is making a difference, I don't know. I didn't think I was going to need so much insulation, but I used up all my R15 right there and here, and then I used up my R38 under the tub, and there was little bits and pieces I still wanted to do, so I went ahead and cracked up in my R19, the unfixed stuff, and because I'm just using it as sounds insulation, it probably doesn't really matter. Anyway, I'm going to go full tilt and go ahead and do as much as I can. Insulate it from every which direction. Alright guys, I just found something out while I was doing this. It's a possibility you don't need to cut unfaced. Especially when you're not doing precision work. You can just literally tear this stuff without using a knife. That's pretty cool. I was trying to cut everything with a knife and it's just a pain, obviously. No need for a knife, it all fits and whatever, you know. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright guys, I finished I think as much as I'm going to do. It is dampened in here big time now. Unfortunately, we're wanting to custom shelf in here. Because it's such a small house, we're looking for every little spot we could put some shelves. We're thinking about putting shelves across with sheetrock on one side, but then shelves on the other. I don't know how it's going to work, but maybe. I dampened the whole inside of here, basically, and all this wall between the bathrooms. There's a little bit of missing here, but again, this is just all for fun. This is because I had a lot of extra insulation left over, and I thought if I can dampen the noise from any room to another, then we're going to try it. Whatever helps a little bit. All this dampened now. Yeah, maybe you're on the other side of there and you don't want to hear the washer and dryer going. I don't know. It was something to use it for. Alright, Valentina, she's working today, but we've been texting each other back and forth and figure out what are we doing about the shelving, and I guess she's going to come out here tomorrow for us to come up with some solution, because I'm just not feeling the way things are working. I'm going to have to L-shape something here to put into here. I don't know. It's just going to be bizarre. I don't know how it's going to work. Same thing with shelving we want to do over here. We were thinking of just putting like 2x6s or something here. But then that, like, how do I come in from this direction? There's a lot of challenges. I can't come in from this direction, so we might have to put shelves, like shelf hangers this way. But then I don't know how it's going to work, because we were talking about putting drywall here on this side, but not on this side, so we can have shelving here, including we could have detergent for the laundry and stuff here. We can have all of our toothbrushes and stuff for here. So a lot of stuff. Anyway, the next thing I'm getting to is we have a smart meter on the outside of the house right here, which I've already talked about that. We don't like that, but it seemed like there wasn't much of a choice. So I bought some Faraday paper, I think it's called, or something, with copper and all kinds of stuff. I'm just going to line the inside of this right here so it blocks it from coming in this way. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Drywall just goes over that, so it doesn't matter how it looks right now. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't know if you can see, but the panel is somewhere like right behind the stud, basically, and right in kind of low. I'll show you the approximation. See, it's just on the other side of this, between the two windows, and kind of down here in the middle. So protect this from out to here. And most important is when you're in your bedroom and it's coming this way. Remember, the box is down here below the window line, actually. So I feel like that's enough. Valentina may come in and say she wants more, but again, it's below this window line, so this stuff up here is just catching a little bit, and it's somewhere around in here. So this way is not a big a deal. Nobody's just standing here. Directly in the bathroom over here, we're protected. So anyway, I think that'll be good. I still have this much left over, so if we need more, I can put more. Next item of business is I've been pulling some of these spacers out as I needed them. I think it was 100 or something. I don't remember, in the bag. So I'd used them all up. So I'd pull them out of where I started. But I want to go ahead and get them all out now. Make a little pile over here and take them away so they won't be in my way when we clean this and put some grout in here. Got my pile back, find something to put them in, and we're done. At least I got all that pretty much cleaned out. Is we have to get all this mortar, or the grout off of here. We did something we weren't supposed to do, and that's to leave it for a day or two, and now it's been a lot longer than a day or two. So we bought a couple of different attachments. I did this corner with one and this corner with another. And I'll show you what I just used. So I don't know if you've seen these before. This is a Ryobi, however you want to pronounce it. These guys come in it. We got it because we saw the white one in it. But when you pull it out, this is just a soft little sponge. It's not going to do anything. This is the one that's more tough. But I'm doing it without water. I want to see what it'll do dry. So that's what this one did here. I feel like it took the grout off a lot better off the rock, off the front. However, it left blue there. And that's why we got the white thing, because we're like, oh, we don't want blue on it. If the blue comes off, that's fine. But if it ends up staining the grout, or getting on the grout and we can't get it out, that's bad, because we haven't been able to seal it yet until we get it all off. The other thing I use, Also a Ryobi product, or Ryobi. I used to say Ryobi all the time, okay? But then I got corrected and told it was Ryobi. And then the person who corrected me started calling it Ryobi later. Neona. Anyway, there's 2 of these, and they felt kind of tough in there. I think they're both about the same. Excuse me, same strength. This is a little bit more dense than this little spread out, but I used the big one. And did this. Of course, it doesn't leave any stain, but it doesn't seem to do quite the job. Now, we might have to use water. I don't want to use water, but we might have to. We give it a shot. If the water works and it does a lot better and quicker, we're doing water. It's just that I can't drain water out of this tub. Yes, it has a drain, but the plumbing underneath goes nowhere. It's blocked. So anything that goes down the tub is going to sit in pipes until I have my septic put in. So anyway, Valentina's on her way out. We're going to discuss that cleaning process. And then we're also going to discuss the shelving thing, the built-in shelving. All right, get back to work here. All right, I'm pretty impressed with I got the smaller one, but I'm just doing this pile here. That's pretty impressive. You know, got that kind of stuff off. So it takes mortar off on these big tiles. I'm going to go ahead and test it on this grout again with this smaller brush. Alright, I was going to show you how well this little guy works. So that's what it looks like, stone looks like when it has no grout on it. So these ones you can see have a lot of grout on them. They're white. Doesn't do much. You can see I got a tiny bit. This thing is working as if I have a solution to go with it, like some kind of chemical or soap or I don't know what. But that thing ain't working at all. The bigger one worked a little bit better. I feel like the blue sponge is what works the best. But then it's staining it, so I don't know. Those are these guys here. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. When Valentina comes, she'll have a different perspective. And then these ones go to this thing, abrasive brush kit. See, this even says concrete on it, rust. So these should be stronger than these. These are just saying a scrubbing kit. Plastic, granite, stainless steel. I don't know. They're kind of similar. Maybe it's just going to take a solution. I really wanted to come off dry, that way we're not getting it wet, like I said. But anyway, we'll come up with something. We know we're going to figure something out. Somebody else has done something like this, and they'll have a solution. We just got to be looking at YouTube for a while. All right, guys. I don't even know where my phone... Oh, it's on the tractor. Sun is going down, put it that way. It's getting dark. So, winding it up. Valentina came out here. We didn't really get into this, but we came up with some ideas for the shelving that we like and narrowed down, not doing quite as much shelving. It's going to be just this one. We're going to go ahead and fill this in with insulation. Sitting up here, this is drying tonight. Maybe I'll take that down and do some more tomorrow. I'm also needing to go to Home Depot and buy a few things for what I need for that shelving idea. And I have a drywall guy coming out tomorrow to give me a bid and take a look at the house. So that's exciting as well. All right, I think that's it. Gonna lock up the house, already put stuff away, and head on home. We'll see you guys the next time we're out here.